Located in downtown Las Vegas, still stands a major piece of Nevada casino history. One of the earliest casinos being the El Cortez Casino. At 600 East Fremont Street, you can find the El Cortez, which was first originally built back in November of 1941. It was opened by John Housels, who partnered up with Marion Hicks and John C. Grayson. There were originally 59 rooms at the casino hotel, and it had a Spanish Western ranch theme to it. There were restaurants inside, a floor show, it had hotel rooms, and the ranch-style architecture that you could see all along the newly emerging Las Vegas Strip at casinos like the El Rancho Vegas and Hotel Last Frontier. A few years later, in 1945, the El Cortez would be sold to a Midwest group that included Gus Greenbaum, Mo Sedway, Bugsy Siegel, and Dave Berman on behalf of Meyer Lansky. That didn't last too long, as they were probably busy with everything else that they were doing in Vegas and across the U.S., that in 1946 it would be sold back to Housels. That way, Siegel would have enough funds to complete the Flamingo, and Housels would then announce a $250,000 expansion in May of 1946. The expansion would include a barbershop, nightclub, swimming pool, and a 4-story wing. In 1952, a neon arrow, marquee, and signature large roof sign would get installed, which are still standing tall in downtown Las Vegas 68 years later. The same year, they would have a so-called grand opening for the new Hotel El Cortez. In 1963, Jackie Gahn would purchase the El Cortez for $4 million. This would be the start of many casinos that he would purchase and run downtown. From the years of 63 up until 1980, nothing much happened, but business had to have been steady and good, because they would go ahead and build a second guest tower that would bring the overall room count to 297. In 2002, it would get sold to Barrick Gaming, who at the time already owned the Gold Spike, Plaza, Vegas Club, and the Western as well. The El Cortez has been the spot for locals to go to and feel like they aren't getting taken advantage of. It's one of the few, if not the only place in Las Vegas where you can still play single-deck blackjack. Minimum bets at the craps tables are $5, and the 00 roulette table minimums are $1. The lowest you can find in Vegas, that's for sure. And I feel like that's why it's done so well, maintaining its position in downtown. It hasn't gone crazy over trying to get every dollar out of the people that come into the doors. They want you to come in, have a great time, and enjoy yourself. If you didn't have anything else to do during the day, they'd probably want you to spend your whole day there and do as much as you can. You can find yourself staying at one of the oldest hotel casinos in Las Vegas with over 300 rooms now, and a recent expansion as well as a recent renovation to the rooms and suites. They are constantly upgrading and making it more present. Now let's talk about the chips quickly. Originally in the 60s, the lowest denomination chip you could find was a 25-center, and the highest was $100. Nowadays, you could probably find yourself playing with a $1,000 or even as high as a $5,000 chip. An interesting story too are the WMK chips. There's a $1, $5, and $25. I'm not too sure if there's a $100, which there probably isn't, but it'd be interesting to know. The WMK is attributed to William M. Critter. Critter spent most of his days at the El Rancho Vegas. After getting into a fight behind the casino and waking up after being unconscious, he rushed to find a lawyer. He would end up meeting Housels, and they would have a wonderful friendship. After years of being friends and all that Housels did for Critter, he said that the least he could do was get him a set of his own chips. Those chips would end up being the WMK chips that were most likely used at the El Cortez for private games by Critter. Those would have to be my favorites from the El Cortez just because of the simplicity and the backstory behind them. I hope you guys enjoyed the history of the El Cortez and a slight history of the chips as well. If you did, please drop a like and comment down below what you thought about the video. It'd mean a lot to hear your feedback as well. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. It helps me know that you guys are enjoying the videos, and together we can grow the community. Thank you again, and it's been Oscar. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.